waste time for Srimad Bhagavatam study. It's a little bit hard, and for all of you too. So I was contemplating today and I've decided, let me try this. It's a different concept. We'll talk about Bhagavatam. We tried doing this in the last 2 Sundays with teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. But those were sort of in simple essay format, like a class, Prabhupada's class. So here we've got, I would like to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam from the main excerpts of it, but it is from Bhagavatam itself. See the verses and the purport, and Srila Prabhupada gives astonishing purports. Now my difficulty is Prabhupada are master, So Prabhupada can at the same time talk to beginners and advanced people also, devotees also. Where a person like me, it is very, very hard. And at least for me, it is very hard to mix this too. But looking at being me, the servant of all of you, and I can understand how difficult it is to find time to study Bhagavatam there. I thought that there was one particular Srimad Bhagavatam incarnation of Lord Kapil Muni, Kapila Dev. And that incarnation is very special, very powerful incarnation. Because he introduced the Sankhya philosophy to the world. Sankhya. And this Sankhya philosophy, the material scientists follow to some extent. But they do not understand, they understand 24 elements of the material world. But they do not understand beyond the 24 elements. So that is the reason why the Sankhya philosophy is very important to understand for us who are going to be preachers of tomorrow. Because we'll be debating with scientists, materialists, who think that just by thinking about and extrapolating the 24 elements, earth, water, fire, ether, mind, regions, pulse, ego, etc., only that is enough. But that itself is a very big thing. But we go beyond that, para prakriti, beyond that. So that is been given and described by Kapil Muni. So I thought if we can study of the teachings of Kapil Muni, Kapil Dev, it will be very nice. It could get very technical, but it's one of my favorite also, And if I'm sincere enough not to bring my ego and let Prabhupada speak, then Srila Prabhupada would be able to communicate to all the beginners level as well as advanced level, intermediate level, everyone, our devotees. What do you think? It's a good idea? For beginners especially, because it is your class, beginners level program. You okay with this? That we can have a mix which will be catering to middle, medium, intermediate, beginners, medium, and advanced also. Is it okay for all of you?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. All of you are okay? Mataji is also, you're okay with all this? What about those who are in advanced level? Is it okay for you guys to look at this? Is it a good idea? Because I just thought you may not have the time to study, So let
Yes,
us
Prabhu.
give this. Yeah? Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So bear with me if I stumble here, there, with this. Because this is a very, it is one of my favorite. In fact, before this, Kardama Muni's pastimes were my favorite too. Everything is my favorite. But not that I'm very expert in this, but I was astonished, you know. And here Kapil Dev's instructions, Lord Kapil's instructions, which are given in the form that the topics being chosen and the verses are being given. So Krishnadas, can you please share the screen if it is possible for you? Thank you. And okay, when you are ready with sharing from our social media, then when you're ready, you can share it on the screen. So in the meantime, I'll still continue with my discussion here, my introduction. So um, while we wait for the screen share to happen, it there are about 18 chapters in this. I'll just read out the chapter names so you know what are we talking about. This will take many months for us to complete and go through. So yeah, I'll read the chapters there. The first is a forward, what it is about, you know. And then there is the purpose of Lord Kapila's advent, first chapter. Second is the transcendental matter and supreme yogi. The third chapter is how to understand the Lord's activities. The fourth chapter is approaching a bona fide guru. Chapter 5 is Lord Kapil takes charge of his mother, Devahuti. These are very deep, you know. You'll get the core of Bhagavatam in this, all these chapters. Because these are straight verses, as I said, you know, with translation and purpose. Then sixth chapter is Devahuti desires transcendental knowledge. Then Lord Kapila begins to explain self-realization. That comes in the seventh chapter. 8 is Bhakti Yoga, the supreme yoga system. 9th, which is halfway through, is purifying the mind for self-realization. Number 10 is spiritual attachment and material detachment. Nice. Spiritual attachment and material detachment. 11th is the symptoms of a sadhu. 12th, association with the Supreme Lord through hearing. 13th, perfect knowledge through surrender. 14, bhakti as ultimate liberation. 15, meditation on the Lord's transcendental form. 16, the pure devotee's spiritual opulences. 17, taking shelter of Krishna, the supreme controller. 18, devotional service, the final perfection. So these are the chapters here. Krishnadas is now free from his social media work. Thank you very much, Abhijit. So you see, these are the topics. And till the time we come where Lord Kapila begins to explain self-realization, number 7, before that, everything is there, including how to approach a bona fide guru, what is the meaning of guru, what is the meaning of disciple, how do you understand Lord's activities, etc. Okay, so let us come to the forward. Krishna, if you don't mind, can we come to the forward, the first part? Thank you very much. Now, who would like to volunteer? As I said, this is very advanced even for me too. So we have to mix with all levels of devotees. And as I said, once again, I'm repeating this point, that because I understand that it is so hard now, post-COVID, for devotees to find time in their health, physical health, their mental health, finance situations, working hard, to sit down and study. So I thought at least we are coming on Sundays, you know. That is those days if I can do something, if I can serve all the levels nicely, that this may remain. It will become like a camp, you know, program. We can continue for many, many months. This topic only, of teachings of Lord Kapila. So with that, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shishananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna. Let us begin now. So yes, Padma Prabhu, we will have to read the forward, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Forward. Kapil Muni, a renowned sage of antiquity, is the author of the philosophical system known as Sankhya. which forms an important part of India's ancient philosophical heritage. Sankhya is both a system of metaphysics dealing with the elemental principles of the physical universe and a system of spiritual knowledge with its own methodology culminating in full consciousness of the Supreme Absolute.
So what does it mean is that Sankhya means talks about the metaphysics, means what is this material made up of, material world made up of, earth, water, fire, air, ether, atoms, minute inside the universe, as well as extrapolating big universes, the laws of physics, all those things. It deals with all these things, everything which material scientists and philosophers think of. It deals with that, but it also deals beyond this system of physical knowledge and a system of physical knowledge with its own methodology. It's got its own special methodology, which culminates into the knowledge of the Supreme God Krishna. Yeah, this is what it means. Yes, please continue. Thank you.
Kapil, however, is not an ordinary philosopher or sage. According to Vedic tradition, the tradition of India's ancient scriptural literature, he himself is an avatar, incarnation of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Kapil's teachings are originally inscribed in the Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Puran, one of the most important scriptural documents of Vedic theism. Within the Bhagavatam, Kapil's teachings comprise chapters 25 through 33 of the third canto. This book, Teachings of Lord Kapil, the son of Devahuti, is based on a unique series of lectures presented in Bombay, India in the spring of this series. Srila Prabhupada spoke from the 25th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter 25, verse 1, which contains the beginning of Lord Kapila's teachings. Srila Prabhupada is the author of a celebrated multi-volume translation and commentary on the entire text of the Bhagavatam, and at the time of the Kapil lectures, he had already completed his written commentary on the section of the Bhagavatam dealing with Kapil Dev's teachings. In these special lectures, however, Srila Prabhupada went into significantly greater detail in elucidating the verses and shed an even broader light upon these fascinating teachings. The text begins with the words of Shaunak, the foremost of the sages of Naimisharanya, the vastly learned sages to whom Srimad Bhagavatam was originally spoken some thousands of years ago. The sages have already heard about Lord Kapil Dev from Suta Goswami, an exalted spiritual master, and it is clear from Shaunak's word that they accept Kapil Muni as being an incarnation of the Lord himself and as therefore being the highest authority on yoga and transcendental knowledge. In recounting the history of Lord Kapil, Suta Goswami, in accordance with Vedic principles for presenting spiritual knowledge, refers to discourse by great spiritual masters who have previously discussed this same subject. In this case, Suta Goswami refers to a discussion between Vidur and the great sage Maitreya, who was a friend of Vyasdev, the original compiler of the Vedic literature. As Suta Goswami has already described, Lord Kapil appeared in this world as the son of Kardama Muni, a master of mystic yoga, and his wife Devahuti. Both Kardama Muni and Devahuti were aware of the divinity of their son. Indeed, even before Kapil's birth, Lord Brahma himself, the chief created person in this universe, had appeared before Devahuti and revealed to her that her son was to be an incarnation of the Supreme Lord and that this incarnation would enlighten her with spiritual knowledge. According to the Vedic social system, a man with a grown son may accept the order of sannyas, thus renouncing all connections with his family and worldly life, and entrust his wife to the care of his son. Kardama Muni, of course, knew that his son was an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, yet to honor this Vedic system and emphasize its importance, he too eventually accepted sannyas, entrusting his wife Devahuti to the care of his divine son Kapil Dev. Therefore, as Suta Goswami begins to answer Saunaka's request to hear further about Lord Kapil Dev, the sages have already been informed of how Kardama Muni departed for the forest, leaving Kapil Dev behind with Devahuti.
You see, so Lord Brahma, when the background is that when Kardama Muni, when Swayambhuva Manu, this is we are on the seventh Manu. We are living in the seventh Manu. So the first Manu is Swayambhuva Manu. Each Manu lives for 71 Yuga cycles, 432,000 times 10 times 71. Okay, that is the life of one Manu. We discussed that. Okay, so this is like seventh Manu. So we are talking about the first Manu in his life. Okay, so at that time he went and approached Brahma, Lord Brahma, to say that my daughter has to be married. Devahuti, very qualified daughter. She was so beautiful, Devahuti, Mother Devahuti, that it was said that when she would play with the ball, ball in a terrace of her apartment, there were apartments. Don't think apartments are only now. So she was on a terrace of the apartment, and there were demigods who would fly their aeroplanes. As they flew the aeroplane, they would actually fall down from the plane seeing her beauty. And they said that with the beautiful ladies playing with the ball becomes more beautiful. She was playing with herself or with her friends. So this is her position. And when she came of age, her father, Swayambhu Manu, approached Lord Brahma, his father, to say, please, whom do I now make her married, her married. She said, there's one boy. He's sitting in the forest. He's living in a hut. His name is Kardama. He is the best person to get married. The daughter, go there. So actually, when he came to meet him, Swayambhu Manu, Kardama Muni had nothing. He was in the forest with locks of hair, and he lived in a place which is existing even today. It is in Gujarat, Saurashtra, called Patan. The ladies, Indian ladies, especially they like the sari of Patola sari, Patola. Patolas? So that is from Patan, Patola. And this place exists even today. When the current government have now modified it to make it very prosperous, otherwise it was very downtrodden for many, many years. So that is a place where Devhuti, Mother Devhuti, got liberation from the instructions of Kapila Dev, who became his son. So Kardama's son Kapil. So when Swayambhu Manu approached him to say, can you become a son-in-law? The emperor, monarch of the whole universe, approaching this Kardama Muni. He did not have place for him to sit. Where do I sit? Make you sit. The thatched hut, of bamboo sticks. He said, I will marry the daughter, but I have one condition. Just see what his condition is this, that after I marry your daughter, will have a first son, I will leave. I'll go to the forest. If you accept this condition, I'll marry your daughter. Just see the position. Just see the position. Here we'll be dancing if the monarch comes to approach his daughter to her. Yes, 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 I'll become monarch after my after his death. All this nonsense. So that's what happened. When Kardama Muni, Devhuti, Mother Devhuti, such a big personality, Devhuti, so beautiful, daughter of the monarch of the universe. And when she married Kardama Muni, she immediately became servant of Kardama Muni. She served him. He would meditate for hours together in 24 hours. She would serve him. And it is said that even she became very weak and thin. Clothes were torn, food was not properly eaten, etc. in her service to Kardama Muni. She was so chaste. And when she found out that her sisters have got children, She said, I also want to have children, you know. So she approached the husband, said, please, I want to have children, you know. Said, okay, I agree, thank you very much. Said, now go and take a dip in this water, which still exists. This lake still exists. And she went and took a dip. Now just see this. As she took a dip, she went to a different world. There were living beings underwater. You think that this is all in the movies and all these things, you'll find all this jing jang. Bhagavatam is so deep. So they actually this when she found out, she went down into the water. She was taken care of by beautiful celestial living beings living under the water. They took her in their palaces, decorated her very nicely, fed her nicely, and when she came out, she was back to her beautiful glory. And she had all these people serving her. This was the power of Kardama Muni. He was externally a pauper. Internally, he had all the powers. And he was so powerful that for his honeymoon, he said, okay, let's want to go. We'll enjoy ourselves. He wanted to take her to different parts of the universe. He did not go to some hill station or some place in Italy or Maldives for honeymoon for 7 days. He took the whole piece of the earth, which included his hut, which converted into a big palace. Okay, he had all these big, huge gardens, forests. He took all of them and everything moved like a spaceship. And they moved as per his wish, according to his mind, where to go. So he went to different parts of the universe, which is not understood in our way. What is star, moon, etc. Okay. And at that place, then he goes, enjoys all those places, he comes back. Devati becomes pregnant, and by the time she had hundreds of servants, beautiful servants. And when Kapil Dev Muni was born, he said, I promise I have to leave now. Thank you very much. So he left, took sannyas. So that's the point to say that when the son becomes eligible, the father leaves the family, takes sannyas. Not in this age of Kali. In this age of Kali, we take sannyas, but while without preaching and meditating upon Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. But don't be involved too much in the family after a certain age. Otherwise, you become a pain. Just leave them. You may not take sannyas, but at least you are having your own fending for yourself, manage your own things quietly. Even if you don't have money, you can have some business here and there, but a little bit less. You're a bit free, to do your bhakti activities. That is our vanaprastha stage. At least that much we should do. So at that point in time, Kapil Dev, seeing Kardama Muni's devotion, this was before Lord Vishnu appeared, before the marriage. Okay, seeing how meditating Krishna Kardama Muni was, Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him. Seeing his austerity, he cried, Lord Vishnu. And from there, a sarovar was formed, a lake was formed, which is called Bindu Sarovar. Now go to Google and type Bindu Sarovar, you will find it is in that place, which is there even existing today. It is in this place, this is the only place in the universe where normally when the forefathers pass away, the children do shraddha for the parents, for the father and all, yeah? This is the only place where you do it for your mother. Yeah. Because there is a place where Mother Devhuti got liberation. So when she asked the questions to his son, who was the incarnation of the Lord, Vishnu says, I'll come as a son. He told this to Kardama Muni and told this to Devhuti. And he came as a son, as Kapil Dev, and he gave liberation to the mother and through her to all of us. This is the background. How beautiful it is. Let us come further. Thank you very much, Krishna. If you can share it again, please. It's about 2 hours from Rajkot. This place is.
Sorry, just give me a second.
Yes, can you please continue reading? Prabhuji? Thank you.
After Kardama Muni's departure, Devahuti, remembering the prophetic words of Lord Brahma, approaches her divine son and humbly expresses her desire for spiritual enlightenment. My lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. Your lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental eye, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. Now be pleased, my lord, to dispel my great delusion. You are the axe which can cut the tree of material existence. I therefore offer my obeisances to you, who are the greatest of all transcendentalists, and I inquire from you as to the relationship between man and woman and between spirit and matter. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, verse 7 to verse 11. Pleased by his mother's pure desire for spiritual enlightenment and feeling great compassion for her, Kapil begins to speak on the Sankhya philosophy.
So what is the question? A man and woman and about spirit and matter. Yes.
Now, what is Sankhya? Insofar as Sankhya deals with the elemental categories or principles of the physical universe, Sankhya is what Western scholars generally refer to as metaphysics. The term Sankhya literally means to count. This name is used because Sankhya philosophy enumerates principles of cosmic evolution by rational analysis. The etymological meaning of the word Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by analysis of material elements. Philosophically, this term is used because the Sankhya system expounds analytical knowledge that enables one to distinguish between matter and spirit. This understanding culminates in bhakti, devotion for and service to the Supreme. It may be said, therefore, that Sankhya and Bhakti form two aspects of the same process, Bhakti being the ultimate goal or ultimate aspect of Sankhya. It is interesting to note at this point that long after Lord Kapil's descent, an imitation Kapil appeared on the Indian subcontinent and propounded a non-theistic Sankhya, that which is generally studied as Sankhya in the contemporary academic context is actually this later, non-theistic, materialistic Sankhya.
So
The
what it
Sankhya
means is that another person came after after Lord Kapil's disappearance, and he called himself Kapil, and he propounded anti-theistic, so atheistic philosophy of Sankhya, and that is what is understood today in India and Vedic, and people who follow this as Sankhya philosophy, as atheistic philosophy. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about what is going in the Bhagavatam. Yeah, please continue.
The Sankhya philosophy propounded by the original Kapil is practically unknown in the West. Teachings of Lord Kapil, the son of Devahuti, along with Srila Prabhupada's complete commentary on Kapil's Sankhya in his edition of Srimad Bhagavatam, is probably the first major exposition in the English language on the original theistic Sankhya. It should therefore be of considerable interest to scholars in this field. Because the basic principle and the ultimate goal of Lord Kapil Dev's Sankhya philosophy is bhakti. This is the subject with which Lord Kapil Dev begins his instructions to Devahuti. Consequently, because this volume, Teachings of Lord Kapil, the son of Devahuti, is Srila Prabhupada's commentary on the beginning of Lord Kapil's teachings, it is chiefly concerned with the science of Bhakti Yoga, the process of linking with God. Yoga means linking through bhakti, devotion. As the actual history begins, Devahuti approaches her son Kapil and with deep humility expresses her sincere desire for spiritual enlightenment. In response, Lord Kapil delineates the path of the transcendentalists who are interested in self-realization. Concisely summarizing the actual process of self-realization, Kapil defines consciousness in both the conditioned and liberated states. He describes the psychology of pure consciousness, delineates the symptoms and characteristics of a sadhu, holy person, and stresses the importance of sadhu sangha. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 22, verse 83. Association with those who are saintly. Kapil Dev then explains that liberation is merely a stage preliminary to the attainment of bhakti, and that one who attains bhakti automatically achieves liberation.
So that means that liberation is a stage before bhakti. It begins. Bhakti begins when liberation is achieved. This is the biggest difference. Whereas for all other philosophies and spiritual paths, liberation is a final stage. The one is liberated from all the material elements. Whereas that is a stage of bhakti, it begins. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam, and everything has been given. All upadhis are given up. Yeah? Yes, please continue.
One who engages in bhakti, devotional yoga, automatically transcends material desires and ultimately crosses beyond birth and death. According to later descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam, Devahuti ultimately attains full enlightenment in transcendental knowledge by hearing and understanding the sublime philosophical teachings of her great son, the publishers.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Let us come to the first chapter, please. Krishna, thank you. So far, it's very clear. Everybody, any questions? Anyone has thoughts so far? As I said, it can get a little technical because Bhagavatam, complete, it is for those philosophers who are really, really interested in the deep philosophies. So it is for that. And our Hare Krishna weekend, we try to do that. We go into deep philosophy to understand the meanings, not just superficial things of jumping and dancing, which is good enough. We should do that. But after full knowledge, getting full knowledge, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Okay, text one. Prabhu, can we have somebody else read for now? We'll give you also the chance. You had the forward. Anybody else got to do so, please? Thank you, Prabhuji. Please don't mind. Or maybe you can start and we can have others after you. No problem. You can start, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, I had one question.
Oh, you had a question. Excuse me. Yes, please.
Prabhu, the Kapil mentioned in the later in previous paragraphs that atheistic philosophy he preached. So are people in India confused with both of them, or they know they are different people and
Yeah, they are confused too. Those who are not studying properly, who have heard something from somewhere, would get confused. But those who understand the philosophy well, they understand Kapil Dev is only one incarnation of Krishna.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Who like
Shall I?
to? Yeah, you can read first. Start for now. We can have others joining in. Thank you.
Yes. Next one. Saunaka uvacha कपिलस्तत्त्वसाङ्ख्याता भगवानात्ममायया जातः स्वयम् अज साक्षात् आत्मप्रज्ञाप्यते आत्मप्रज्ञाप्तये नृणाम्. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, verse 1. Sri Shaunaka said, although he is unborn, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took birth as Kapil Muni by his internal potency. He descended to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race.
Okay, Jaivan. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Shaunak Rishi said that although he is unborn, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took birth as Kapil Muni by his internal potency. Yeah. So by his internal potency is very important here. Jata Swayam Agna Sakshat. And he descends to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race. So it does not relate only to that particular space and time. As you can see, this was in the first Manu, and we are discussing him in the seventh Manu. So many Yuga cycles are finished. 71 times 6 plus 28. Those many whole Yuga cycles, not 432, 432 times 10. Those Yugas are finished, and we are still discussing his philosophy. Here, I'm sitting in New Zealand, some of you sitting in India, some sitting in Australia, others will watch it on YouTube, wherever. This is called potency. And the potency of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, who makes it available to the mankind. That is the reason why the contribution of Srila Prabhupada is immense in our lives. We owe our life to Srila Prabhupada. And to him, all his followers who are making this available to all of us to study and read. Yeah? Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Wonderful. Please continue.
The word Atma Prajnaptaye indicates that the Lord descends for the benefit of the human race to give transcendental knowledge. Material necessities are quite sufficiently provided for in the knowledge given in the Vedic literatures, which offer a program for good living and gradual elevation to the platform of Sattva Guna, the mode of goodness.
See, here it is. Now, what does Vedic literature give you? It gives you how to live good, happily, not miserly. Okay, nobody is miser. Nobody should be miser. Miserly, no. Happily, be detached. And this helps us in gradual elevation to Sattva Guna, mode of goodness. This will help us to get knowledge and be in transcendental knowledge. Okay, let's continue.
Once one is situated in Sattva Guna, one's knowledge expands. On the platform of passion, there is no knowledge, for passion is an impetus to enjoy material benefits. On the platform of ignorance, there is neither knowledge nor enjoyment, but simply animalistic living. The Vedas are intended to elevate one from the mode of ignorance to the platform of goodness. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, he is able to understand knowledge of the self or transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge cannot be appreciated by any ordinary man. Therefore, a disciplic succession is required. This knowledge is expounded either by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself or by his bona fide devotee. Shaunak Muni also states here that Kapil, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, took birth or appeared simply to decimate transcendental knowledge.
Okay, Thomas. So here Prabhupada says here that this knowledge, such knowledge cannot be appreciated by any ordinary man. Therefore, a disciplic succession is required. You see, we are ordinary people. We cannot appreciate this. We are very happy watching television or wasting our time in all nonsensical activities, being very, nationalistic or altruistic, or this was good enough, living any lifestyle. So for to get to ourselves, we require disciplic succession. The same knowledge is disseminated by guru disciple in a way that is palatable to the disciple and to general mass of public. This is why Maharishi Goswami Maharaj told us, emphasized to us, that you take up the responsibility of studying the Bhagavatam and share it and disseminate this information to public. Otherwise, they are not interested. Share it in a way that they can understand. These are one of the last instructions also. And before that also, Maharaj said the same thing to all of us. And when the Maharaj said anything to me, I'm very transparent. I told this to Avinash Krishna at the time he was there and all. The Maharaj told me, through me to all of you. The same way I'm saying, through me to all of you. Everybody is given the instructions. Take it upon yourself, study the Bhagavatam, digest it, and to the best of your ability, practically share it with everybody else. That's called parampara. So parampara is needed as an organizational way to preach, you see, to the masses. So knowledge is not diluted. If there is no parampara, then there is no basis. Knowledge can be diluted in any way. But here the teacher teaches, student hears, and he repeats the same thing. And that is the reason why we record this. Prabhupada have been so perfect that Srila Prabhupada has written down whatever he said, black and white. Nobody can challenge, nobody can change this, right? He's written. He cannot say, I did not write this. He written this here. So the least that we can do is to read it, understand it in the mood of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, how he understood it, and then record it for future generations to do. So everybody is accounted for. Here we are accounted for. This is disciplic succession. You must understand this point. So everybody is accounted for. Any true preacher feels accounted for. So here we are. This is the whole process. That is the meaning that disciplic succession is required for ordinary men. And this knowledge is expounded either by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself or by his bona fide devotee. Shaunak Muni also states here that Kapil, the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, took birth or appeared simply to disseminate transcendental knowledge. Yeah, all clear? These points are very clear. Let's continue. Thank you.
To understand that one is not matter but spirit soul, Aham Brahmasmi, I am by nature Brahman, is not sufficient for understanding the self and his activities. One must be situated in the activities of Brahman. Knowledge of those activities is explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Such transcendental
Just here, it's not so simple. To understand that one is not matter but spirit, soul, Brahmasmi. I'm by nature Brahman is not sufficient. Understand this. Why is it not sufficient? If you want to understand what you are as a soul, what are the duties of the soul, and what are the activities of the soul, just like we eat for this body, the soul also requires certain things for its maintenance. That will not be understood by Aham Brahmasmi only. So that is the reason why one must understand the activities of the soul, and one must be situated in those activities of Brahman. You see, knowledge of those activities is explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Okay, please continue.
Such transcendental knowledge can be appreciated in human society, but not in animal society, as clearly indicated here by the word Nirnam for the human beings.
See, every word is important. We were just read to say, oh yeah, for human society. He came incarnated for human society. But Acharyas teaches what is the word here, human society, is not for animals. Animals can't understand this. See, same thing which we understood as concepts in Bhagavad Gita is now implemented in Bhagavatam. So when we study Bhagavatam, we have to be very mindful what are the words being used in the verses and why these words are used, why not those words are used. Otherwise, for all living beings, it would have been said, right? Chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is for all living beings. Anybody will be benefited just by hearing. But Bhagavat hearing, animals will not be because they don't understand Bhagavatam at all. Jai. So every incarnation has a special place, special role. This is how we understand things. Yes, please continue, Prabhu.
Human beings are meant to lead a regulated life. By nature, there is regulation in animal life also, but that is not like the regulative life described in the scriptures or by the Vedic authorities. Only when one's life is regulated, according to the Vedas, can one understand transcendental knowledge.
Yes, regulated life is a must. You cannot drink anything, eat anything, speak anything, think anything, and have Bhagavatam knowledge of Krishna. You cannot. So slowly, our thinking changes, our habits change. With the habits change, it becomes our routine. Then our interests change. You see? And slowly then we are purified. Animals also lead regulated life. Human beings are so advanced that they can have sex anytime, 24 hours or 12 months. Animals don't do that. They do it only to reproduce. That's it. This is the point. Animals, so human beings have become worse than animals because we have got this facility and we are misusing the facilities. So facility should be there, but we should not be using it. That is called sense control. In front of us, a big amount of prasad food may be kept, very delicious. Everybody's devouring. You are hungry, but you will not have. I don't eat non-vegetarian food. I have prasadam. Thank you. Sense control. Enjoyment propensity is there in front of us, but we don't enjoy. Why? For Krishna, we don't enjoy. This is the point. Okay? Let's continue. Thank you.
For the propagation of this transcendental knowledge, Kapil Dev, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, gave instructions in Sankhya philosophy to his mother Devahuti. Later, another Kapil Dev appeared who expounded atheistic Sankhya philosophy, which dealt with the 24 elements but gave no information about God. The original Kapil is called the Devahuti Putra Kapil, and the other is called the atheist Kapil. Concerning Kapil Dev, Sonak Rishi says, Kapilas Tattva Sankhyata. Kapil is the supreme person, therefore he can explain the absolute truth. Actually, only Bhagwan can know the true position of the ultimate truth. No one else can know it. Bhagwan, Krishna, or his incarnation occasionally visits the earth to give humanity information about the aim of life. Thus, the Supreme Lord descended as Kapil Dev, Tattva Sankhyata. The word Sankhyata means expounder, and Tattva means the absolute truth. The absolute truth is Bhagwan, Sri Krishna himself. We cannot understand the absolute truth or the Supreme Person by mental speculation, especially when we are under the influence of the three modes of material nature, Sattva Gun, Rajo Gun, and Tamo Gun. Only those who are situated in the Sattva Gun, the mode of goodness, are fit to understand the absolute truth. According to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 42, those possessing Brahmanical qualifications are situated in Sattva Gun.
Okay, let's see this 18.42, Krishnadas. Can you click on this, please? It's given there, down. Yeah, excuse me.
Samodamastapa Socham Shanti Ajavam Mevacha Jnanam Vijnanam Astikyam Brahma Karma Swabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and righteousness, these are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work.
So Brahmana is not by birth. The definition is given who's a Brahman. Any person can be he finds himself to be peaceful, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and righteousness. And also there are other qualities also, other activities of Brahmana. He studies scriptures, he teaches scriptures. Pathan, Pathan. Okay? These are also scriptural. Right? What is needed for a Brahman. So Brahmana is by work. He said these are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work. So these are actions of Brahmanas. Yes, please continue.
According to the Vedic conception, there must be men in society who are factually Brahmanas capable of expounding the real truth. If everyone becomes a Shudra, the absolute truth cannot be understood. It is said that at the present moment in Kali Yuga, everyone is Shudra.
Hmm.
Kalo Shudra Sambhava. And it is very difficult in this age to find qualified Brahmanas, for they are very rare. There is practically not a single qualified Brahman in this age. Rayanal Payusha Sabhya Kalau Asmin Yuge Janaha Mandaha Sumanda Matayo Mandabhagya Upadrutaha.
Very good. Very nice. Very nice.
O
Is that
learned,
translated by Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, please continue.
O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 10.
Again, read the translation again.
O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed.
That's the reason why everybody is looking for becoming very quick millionaire. They go and buy these tickets, to, to become buy lotto tickets or lottery tickets. You see, they play gamble, the gambling thing, because they are very unlucky people. And because only one lucky person will win, so they all want to become that lucky. They think it is lucky. It's not lucky. You don't require anybody else's money. Yes, please continue.
Actually, human life is meant for understand. Sorry, bro.
So the people of
The
this age.
people, the people in this age are very short-lived and slow in understanding spiritual life. Actually, human life is meant for understanding spiritual values. But because everyone in this age is a Shudra, no one is interested. People have forgotten life's real purpose. The word manta means both slow and bad. And everyone in this age is either bad or slow or a combination of both. People are unfortunate and disturbed by so many things. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, there will eventually be no rain and consequently a scarcity of food. The governments will also levy very heavy taxes. The characteristics of this age predicted by Srimad Bhagavatam are already being experienced to some degree. Since Kali Yuga is a very miserable age, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Sri Krishna himself, advises everyone simply to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva Gatir Anyata. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 17, verse 21. In, in this age of Kali, there is no alternative. There is no alternative, there is no alternative for spiritual progress than the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord. Brahan Naradiya Purana. This process is not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's invention, but is advised by the Shastras, the Puranas. The process for this Kali Yuga is very simple.
So
One
this was
need
written. This was already written before Mahaprabhu's appearance. You see, this was mentioned in the Brihad Naraniya Purana. You see, and Mahaprabhu just propagated that point. He came as Krishna. He propagated that point. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, 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 gatiranyata. He did not write this verse. He brought this verse out of the purport from the scriptures and taught it to the people. Yeah, I think we should stop here. Because it's a good point to understand and pick up from there. Thank you. Krishna, can you stop the sharing, please? Thank you. Okay. Hare Krishna. All right. So, as I said, this is how it can be a little tricky. It is like it is Bhagavatam only, full study. Okay. How do you all find it? Do you think it is all right? Did I choose correctly? Only those who are really interested in philosophy will be will be interested. Others will just go to sleep. They run away. Say, "This is not for me. What is this going on?" There are debates and all that. In the beginners program, that's why I do all those things. Fighting and debates and challenge and this and laughing and all those things. This is serious stuff. This self-study, swadhyaya. Is it okay for you beginners? Is it all right for you guys? You don't have to say it. You can tell me honestly. Or we can change back to what it is. No problem. We can go back to our boxing. So this will go for many months like this. It is not going to be one month or 1 day or 2 day or 1 week. Yes, Padma Prabhu, you have a question?
no, bro, I just wanted to say this is very interesting. It's a little heavy to digest, but it's very interesting with Bhagavatam and this.
Yeah. I just thought, it benefits everybody. Hopefully, it benefits me, on this. Okay. All right. So who are there? What do you say, Prabhu? Is it okay for you? You are representative of the leaders group here.
For me, yes, Prabhuji. I think it's very good.
Sorry. Okay. All right. We got the answer. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. I think with this we should conclude today because each of these chapters will take 2-3 sessions. Even if you just read more and I clarify in between, these are very, very good, absolute nectar. But please make notes. You will learn from here things which is like extraordinary. You see? Right. Okay, any question anyone has got so far what we discussed today? Or anything to share? No. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Yeah?
I had one question.
Yes, Abuji.
So I think I also read one name of the is Sankhya philosophy also in Bhagavad Gita, and is it the same or different?
Yes, that's right. Same. It's the same.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Here is given full details, Full details are given here. Okay, wonderful. All right. Anyone else has to say anything before we move to our singing today? Okay, wonderful. So whose turn is it today to sing Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us? Whose turn is it today?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's my turn, Prabhuji.
Oh, what is your turn? What is your name, Prabhuji?
My name's Madhav.
Oh, माधव जी कैसे हैं आप?
मैं ठीक हूँ प्रभुजी.
अरे वाह वाह, बहुत अच्छा हिंदी बोलते हो आप. हाँ, बहुत अच्छे. अभी आपका हाथ कैसा है?
It's good.
अच्छा है? अच्छा हो रहा है? दिखाइए, हाथ दिखाइए, जरा अपना हाथ दिखाइए.
Over here.
ओह, अच्छा अच्छा. फिर उसपे सिग्नेचर भी लिख लेना आपकी सिस्टर को बोलकर कुछ वहां पर सेइंग लिखना आप. माधव गेट वेल सून. माधव यू रिमेम्बर योर ब्रोकन हैंड. माधव डोंट फॉरगेट योर ब्रोकन हैंड. माधव डोंट फॉल अगेन. ठीक है ना?
Okay, Mother. Don't fall again.
वेरी नाइस. चलिए और अच्छे से गाइए, एक्शन के साथ उनको फॉलो करेंगे. ओके, 1 2 3 स्टार्ट.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
And if we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we are not happy.
Wasting time
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
means the wasted mind.
So best is your time
So best use your time
when you're in your prime.
when you're in your prime.
And your whole life
And your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is
then
gone,
there is nothing wrong.
then there is nothing wrong.
But if your health is gone,
If your health is gone,
that's a different song.
that's a different song.
If your character is dies,
If your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then and the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior,
Saintly behavior,
that's humanity thrive.
that's humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So we remember Krishna
We must always remember Krishna
and never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
But how are we to practice with so many things to do?
But how will we practice this with so many things to do?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here is the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
You must learn to walk so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn to walk so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely
So listen very closely
and make your thinking sharp.
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
If something's due tomorrow,
If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today.
finish it today.
Whatever's due today,
Whatever's due today,
do it now, don't delay.
do it now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy
Your friends might be lazy
or doing bad things,
or doing bad things.
but you think again,
But you think again,
don't follow them,
don't follow them,
and you will win the
and
end.
you will win the end.
Whatever we're given,
Whatever work we are given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live it what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only do what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is something that to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you will see Krishna every day.
And when our time is up, we'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance to him with a heart full of love.
And when the sun is up, we'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. Cause only with this world will ever be concerned.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. It's not only with this world will ever become sin.
Now please ask this greatest question
Now please ask this greatest question
and find this greatest clue.
and find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna
You can only remember Krishna
if Krishna remembers you.
if Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
जय होलिने श्रीला महाविष्णु गोस्वामी महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री निताई गौर चंद्र प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutala Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami ki namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutala Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami ki namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Bhavani Prasarine. Nirvisheshan Vayu. Okay, Hare Krishna. Krishna willing, we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.